From Hollywood, here's Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Fay Holden in The Hardy Family. We're proud to present The Hardy Family, based on the famous Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer motion picture series, which brought delight to millions and reflected the common joys and tribulations of the average American family. And now, here are the same great stars and the parts they created on the screen: Louis Stone, Mickey Rooney, and Fay Holden, The Hardy Family. Hardy explodes through the front door of the Hardy home like a long-range shell, whistles through the living room, and comes to rest at the dining room table with a burst of flack. Judge and Ma Hardy call this Operation Feedbag.
What time does your watch say, Emily?
5:59 3/4.
Yeah, mine's the same. Well, Andrew will be hitting that front door in 15 seconds.
Shall we run to the cellar tonight, dear?
No, let's stay here and brave it out. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 hour.
I'm home! I'm home!
A direct hit.
You're looking at the protector of people, champion of justice, enforcer of the law, defender of life and public safety.
Oh, James, here's Mr. District Attorney.
Mom, listen, dear. One of Carville's biggest outfits just hired me as a private eye.
Oh, but, dear, why didn't they hire the rest of you?
Well, Emily, it's somewhat unbelievable, but I think Andrew means he has become a detective.
That's right, Dad.
Oh, now, Andy, couldn't you find a steady job, dear?
Steady job, Mom? This is a steady job.
Now, Andy, I listen to Sam Spade and Nick Carter and Nero Wolfe on the radio all the time.
Yeah.
And they never work over half an hour every week.
Look, dear, in the first place, I'm not going to be that kind of private eye. I won't exactly solve any cases, you see. I'll try to smell out the crime before it happens.
Oh, I see. You'll be more of a private nose.
No, Dad, look, I'm going to work for the Carville Union Warehouse as a night guard.
A night guard, dear?
Yeah, I walk through the warehouse with a flashlight and gun and look around to see if everything is all right.
Oh, you mean you're really a private looker?
I only look around every hour. The rest of the time, I just sort of sit in an office, that's all.
Oh, now I understand, dear. You're a private sitter.
My gosh, you folks make jokes, and I thought you'd be so proud of me.
Oh, Andrew.
Yes, I did.
Very pleased indeed. But after all, you know, you're only a night watchman.
Only a night watchman. Only a night watchman. Dad, did you ever hear of the case of the $2 million warehouse fur robbery?
I don't seem to recall that, no.
Single-handed night watchman John Henderson captured 8 crooks in their armored car. Armored car, and he only had a flashlight and a measly little penknife on him.
Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
When did this happen?
In the last issue of Ghastly Detective Stories.
Oh, yes.
Do you really feel that you have the qualifications to hold down a job like this?
Certainly, I do. Certainly. No criminal is a match for me with this trusty cannon at my side and this brilliant head on my shoulders.
That's what worries me.
What do you mean, Dad? What worries you?
Well, I can just see the headlines some morning. Night watchman Andrew Hardy fires at fleeing crooks with trusty cannon. Misses. Puts hole through own brilliant head.
Oh, my, isn't that exciting? James, just imagine Andy having his name in the papers.
Well, son, I wish you all the luck in the world in this spine-tingling new job.
Oh, thank you, Dad. Thank you, sir.
Tell me, when do you start?
At midnight this very night. I don't suppose you'd care to come down some night and watch the changing of the guards?
Well, that might be very interesting.
I just hope you don't arrive in the middle of some blazing gunplay, that's all.
What in the world is stored in the place?
Nothing. It's been empty for a week.
Andy, what was that?
The clock just struck 3, Beezy.
No, I mean the other sound.
Oh, kid, it's this old warehouse. That's all. Just creaks a little at night. That's all. Just creaks.
A little. This place should get a steady job with a couple of vampires.
Now, relax, will you please relax? The Eye is here to protect you. I'm glad you came down to sit with me on my first night, too, kid.
Yeah, it's been real keen fun. If you like to sit in graveyards.
Oh, keep talking. Helps me stay awake, boy.
Stay awake.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, I thought you said you were worried about sleeping.
I am. I can't go to sleep on this job, you know.
But I thought you meant you wanted to go to sleep.
Certainly not. I'm not going to go to sleep.
Want a bet?
What do you mean?
You know that coffee I went out to get you a few minutes ago?
Yeah?
I put 3 sleeping pills in it.
That's very nice. Well, you knothead. Look, Beezy, do something. Slap me, knock me around, keep me awake. Beezy, keep me awake. Beezy, keep me awake.
I can't.
Why?
I put 3 in mine, too.
Close your mouth, kid. You're yawning.
I wish I was home in my nice, soft, warm bed.
Oh, shut up, will you, please? Cut it out, will you, please? After all, Beezy, when you're on a job like... Wake up, will you, Anderson?
Morning already? Oh, hi, Andy. I guess I dropped off for a minute.
Holy cats, leave it to you to mess up a job like this.
Yeah, I'm just not cut out for this work. Now, I gotta hand it to you for taking a job like this, Andy. It's cold and dark and spooky down here. Boy, I'd go nuts after one night on a job of this kind. Why? Andy, I don't hear. Wake up!
Where am I, Anderson? Where am I?
In a mausoleum.
Don't talk like that. This place is creepy enough without making it worse.
Here comes the werewolf again.
I'm going home! No, listen, don't let a little noise like that bother you. It'll be daylight pretty soon.
Yeah, and I want to be around to see it. This place is a chamber of horror.
Wait a minute.
It creaks and groans like it was haunted.
Beezy, look, you can't go home,
I'll
kid.
see you tomorrow, Andy. I know you won't mind staying here alone because, like you say, there's no such things as ghosts and spooks that go around at night.
Of course not.
Oh, no.
Sure.
There's criminals with guns and madmen with...
Get out! Get out! What a coward. Afraid of a big, empty, dark place like this because it has a few moans. And creeps. Shut up, Hardy, you big jerk. Who's there? Who's there? Speak up! I'll throw a scare into whoever it is. My guy's scared by my own voice. I gotta relax, be confident. I got a gun, haven't I? Certainly. Good old gat. Yeah, you stand by me, won't you, baby, huh? You'll get it. There, put him up! Only a cat. Oh, my nerves are all on edge. Gotta loosen up, take it easy. It's no use. What a horrible situation. Too drugged to stay awake. And too scared to go to sleep.
Hey, Bert, come take a look at what I found in the office this morning.
What is it, Joe? My gosh, an open manhole.
No, it's a mouth. And I think there's a man behind it.
Who is he?
I don't know. Must be that new guard they put on the graveyard shift. Kid named Hardy.
You know, it kind of gives you a feeling of security to know we got a man like that on the job, huh?
Yeah. Well, let's get him up. We got a big consignment coming in today. Hey, Hardy, 8 o'clock, rise and shine. Didn't budge him. Wait, I got a better idea. Okay, you mugs, back the trucks up. We're cleaning out this warehouse and heading for the border.
Oh, good night. This guy looks like an ad for knockout drops.
Yeah, I tell you what, let's fire his gun. That ought to do it.
That's a good idea. Stand back.
He couldn't be dead and make a noise like that, could he?
I never saw anybody sleep that hard. What are we going to do with him?
Well, we could turn him into the lost and found.
You know, Joe, I hate the suggestion.
What?
It's a low-down, dirty trick, but...
Go ahead. I like it already.
Well, what do you say we carry him down the street and dump him in that vacant lot?
Oh, that's murder. Yeah, he'll wake up and wonder what in places hit him.
Well, look, you grab his legs and I'll take his arm.
All right.
All right, now, careful. I don't want to wake him up now.
Oh, boy, I'd give a day's pay to see the expression on his face about an hour from now.
He'll have to go some to beat the one that's on his face now.
Mom, Dad, are you up?
Yes, dear, we're right in here having breakfast.
Why, wait till you hear what happened.
Well, you mean you had some excitement on your new job already?
Excitement, Dad. The biggest crime wave in years has broken out.
Crime wave?
It's amazing. You won't believe it when I tell you. Believe me.
No, we won't, dear, but tell us anyway.
Well, look, Mom, about 4 o'clock this morning, I dropped off to sleep in the warehouse.
Andrew, you went to sleep on the job?
Well, Beezy doped me. But I couldn't have handled these guys anyway.
What guys,
The
dear?
most daring, the most clever crooks of all time.
Good heavens, you mean someone broke into the warehouse while you were asleep?
Worse than that, Dad. When I woke up, I was lying on cold, bare ground.
Oh.
Right out in the open.
Oh, goodness. And what happened?
The biggest robbery in history, that's what.
Robbery? You mean they stole something from the warehouse?
From the warehouse? Dad, they stole the warehouse.
In a moment, the Hardy family will return. But first, a word from your announcer. Now back to the Hardy family, starring Mickey Rooney, Louis Stone, and Fay Holden. If ever a man was destined to become a great criminologist, a famous G-man, or an outstanding chief of police, Andy Hardy is obviously not that man.
Dad,
Yes, Andrew?
you happen to have any fingerprint dusting powder around the house?
Fingerprint dusted. Well, now, you know, son, that's strange.
It is? Why?
Yes, I was just thinking this morning. I've got to remember to get a fresh box of fingerprint dusting powder.
Oh, Dad, please, look. Oh.
You know, it just seems to disappear around here, just like embalming fluid. Never can keep enough embalming fluid in the house, either.
I only asked for a simple bit of fingerprint dusting powder, that's all.
Oh, Andy, dear, there's some dusty fingerprints on the piano if they'll help.
Sweetheart, look, you don't seem to understand. I'm faced with a terrific, baffling mystery.
And Andrew, there was no mystery. You know now that the warehouse wasn't stolen.
Oh, that's not the point. I was.
Oh, dear, there's nothing to worry about. You found yourself.
Well, look, darling, you don't understand. Somebody must have carried me out of that warehouse and put me in that vacant lot. It's obvious somebody was trying to get me out of the way.
Well, I'd say it's pretty obvious they certainly succeeded.
They dragged me out, threw me in the lot, and then went back to rob the warehouse.
Yeah. I'll bet they were surprised when they found it empty.
They probably miscalculated. A big consignment just came in today. Yeah, that's what they were after.
But they didn't get it, dear.
It's all clear now. Don't you see? They'll be back. If I could only get someone to come to the warehouse with me tonight. Oh, I'd like to set a trap.
Oh, yes, I imagine that old place must be full of mice.
No, honey, I mean a trap for the crooks. They'll be back. Criminal always returns to the scene of his crime, believe me.
But there was no crime.
Dad, there's going to be. Believe me, there is going to be. If I could just sit at the desk again tonight and pretend to be asleep, if somebody else were to hide behind the office door...
Well, dear, maybe B.T. Anderson would do it.
Anderson, he wouldn't come within a mile of the place.
Well, now, don't look at me.
Huh?
I intend to get a good night's sleep.
Mom?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I'd simply die if I saw a real criminal.
Well, there's only one other person I could hope to get. Polly Benedict.
Well, son, I hope you know what you're doing.
Don't worry about me, Dad, but just in case I'm not home by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning...
Yes, dear?
Bring a pillow and blanket out to the vacant lot. It gets pretty cold out there. Mom, Dad, the case is all wrapped up.
Oh, is that?
Yes.
Well, Andrew, you mean that you've mastered the mystery already?
Oh, I don't monkey around with a thing when I really go to work on it, Dad, believe me.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. How did you manage it, dear?
Sit down a minute while I dictate my report on the case of the vanishing warehouse.
Dictate?
Yes, certainly. A private eye always makes out a report.
Oh, can you take shorthand, Emily?
Oh, no, dear. No. Can you?
No, I'm afraid not.
Well, maybe if Andy could speak in shorthand, I could take it down in longhand.
Never mind, Mom. I'll give you the report anyway.
That's good. Now, let's have it.
Private investigator Andrew Hardy, license number 4615-342-64917.
Yeah?
852-65315-97-
Okay.
910 Jack Queen King.
Well, that sounds like the roll call at San Quentin.
Yeah. Well, as I was about to say, I left the house here and started for Polly B.
Oh, James, isn't that an exciting report?
Darling, sweetheart, I'm just starting out on the report.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear.
I was in a completely new world outside our house. It was entirely different from being inside the house.
Oh, James, isn't that weird?
That's positively spooky.
The dense fog that wrapped around me like a blanket.
Fog? When?
Oh, James, there's always a fog.
Somewhere out in that pea soup, a mournful boat whistle sounded. Woo! Woo! Yeah, it was spine-tingling.
I imagine it was, when you consider there isn't any water within 200 miles of here.
Groping blindly, I found my way to Polly's house. I rang the doorbell. Said door opened. I'll never forget the shock I got at that moment. There was a short circuit in the doorbell, you see. Standing in the doorway was... Who do you suppose?
A banshee?
Christopher Columbus.
A leprechaun?
Admiral Dewey?
Well,
now it's your turn again, Emily.
It was Polly.
That's unbelievable.
Yes, Polly.
Imagine Polly Benedict being at Polly Benedict's house. Amazing.
It was beautiful. So happy, gay, and alive with living. I felt like I was defacing a beautiful painting, but I had to tell her I was on a mission of danger, that death might be lurking just around every corner. I'll never forget how she smiled bravely and said ever so sweetly to me.
Honestly, Andy, I think you're a screwball.
Look, sweetheart. I'm in this thing deep. Up to my neck, understand?
Well, that certainly isn't very deep.
Listen, sweetheart, we gotta move fast. You want to work on this case with me or not?
Well, what do you want me to do?
Just hide behind the door of the warehouse office for a few hours, that's all.
A few hours?
And keep your Roscoe ready for action.
Roscoe who?
Your gat, woman, your gat.
Oh.
When the crooks come in the room, you jump on them from behind and it's all over.
You mean I'm all over?
It's a cinch. I got it figured right down to the second.
And what will you be doing all this time?
I, little lady, will be sleeping at the desk. She put a coat over her solid gold evening gown and we hurried out to my car. I turned the key in the ignition, stepped on the starter, and felt the surge of smooth power as the motor caught and we glided quietly into the fog. In a few minutes, we pulled up in front of the old warehouse. It was deathly quiet, sweethearts. Nothing seemed to move, sweethearts, but it was very still and ominous, sweethearts. This was it. It was now or never. If the crooks came back tonight and I caught them, the case would be solved forever.
The case would be cracked, dear.
Yeah, cracked.
Yeah, I completely agree with the cracked idea.
Well, here's the way I figured it. If I didn't catch the crooks, I only had two things to worry about. Either they'd never come back or they'd try again next month. If they didn't come back, I had nothing to worry about. If they did come back, I'd try to catch them. If I caught them, the case would be cracked. If I didn't catch them, I only had two things to worry about. Either they'd never come back or they'd come back next month. Or...
Well, just let me know when you get to October. My vacation comes up then.
We approached the door of said warehouse office. Just midnight. Time for me to report on the job. If the thieves were going to strike, it'd be soon. Then I saw him. Every muscle in my body froze. The back of my neck crept up toward the top of my head.
Oh, Andy, dear, didn't I push your hair down over your eyes?
Andrew, take a short cut. Who was the man?
Oh, the man. The other night watchman. He was just going home.
He had a close call. I almost shot him myself.
Then Polly and I headed for the warehouse office.
Andy, don't cross the sidewalk. I have a feeling something horrible, something unnatural is waiting there in the dark.
Sweetheart, we can't turn back now. It's it or us.
Oh, Andy, please. Please don't go that way.
I laughed at the foolish child. I thought you were simply hysterical. Then it happened. I must have fallen 2 miles down that manhole. My whole life passed before my eyes. You know, it'd make a wonderful Technicolor picture, too. Finally, I hit bottom with a thud. Then I was being lifted on a peppermint stick. Giant candid cameras flew past, popping the flash bulbs and clicking the shutters. Up and up I went into a raspberry gelatin sky, and then I saw it. I saw it. My little pink cotton cloud number 6 7/8. And that horrible grinning little man was there, laughing. I loathed him, that monster. That monster! My alter ego!
Walter, who do you?
The alter ego, Emily. That's his other self.
Yes.
I don't understand this part of it. Andy, dear, come back, my little pink cloud, and climb up out of that manhole.
Yeah, my head was splitting. A million stars were exploding all around me. And that fiendish little gnome kept laughing.
James, isn't that funny?
Suddenly, I crashed back to Earth.
Andy, dear, don't come down so fast. You'll get the bends.
Climbed out of said manhole, and the whole solution to the mystery came to me in just a flash.
That's fine. Now, may we have it in a flash also?
Period, end of report, period, dash, semicolon, period, stop, end of report.
End of report. We haven't solved anything yet.
Certainly I did. I washed the case up in 2 minutes.
But how, dear?
But how? Easy, I just walked up to the boss this morning and quit.
In a moment, the Hardy family will return. Now, here again is the Hardy family.
Mom, Dad, what would you say if I told you I was going into a sensational new business?
Well, Andrew, I wouldn't say a word. I'd be speechless.
Yes.
Oh, but, Andy, you've got another job already?
Yeah, I ran into a guy who's planning to open a new office in Carville. He gave me his phone number and told me to call him this evening.
Well, what little venture are you interested in this time? Swiss Alp climbing?
No, not Swiss Alp climbing, Dad. This job is just tailor-made for me.
As I recall it, you were just perfect for that night watchman's job, too.
That wasn't right for me, I know. I'm no good at guarding things. I'm better at losing things.
Yes. That's right, dear. James, you remember just last week he lost his watch and his wallet?
That's right. So I'm going into the losing business.
The losing business?
Yeah, I'm going to sell floater policies for an insurance company. You know, we pay off if you happen to lose something.
Well, that sounds wonderful for you, dear.
Well, it does sound like work more suited to your talents.
I think you ought to call the man right away.
I would, except for one thing.
What's that?
I lost his phone number.
Mickey Rooney and Fay Holden is based on characters created by Aurania Ruperol. This program was written by Jameson Brewer. Direction is by Joe Bigelow. Original music was composed and conducted by Jerry Fielding. Supporting cast included Eleanor Cannon, Dick Crenna, Peter Leeds, and Jerry Hausner. Herb Allen speaking.